Alright guys, welcome back to another Dayz tutorial. So a few days ago, a guy had reached out to me and he asked me if I could do a video on a mod that he's made. Now the mod is this mod that you can see. It's loot spawn blocks, and essentially what this does is you can create spawn positions for your loot. Now you can use this in buildings, but it wasn't really designed for that. It was designed for more your custom areas that doesn't really have loot spawns. So you can just create them, but again, you can use it in buildings. Now, the guy is really cool. I was actually speaking to him in Discord the other day as well about the mod and about other stuff, and he's a really sound guy. So a big shout out to this because yeah, this mod is really not good. And the reason why he's asked me to do this video is because he's got a lot of other people that's been interested in this mod and they do not know how to use it. There is a PDF file inside the mod folder which shows like steps and how to do it. But again, I don't think a lot of people know how to open PDFs, and if they do, they probably just haven't bothered, or they just don't make sense of it. So I said I'll do the video for him. I did say, look, it may take a few days, and he was like, that's fine, in your own time, it's not a problem. So here we are. Right, now we're going to talk about some mods that you're going to need to, like the first few steps, and some mods that you're going to need to have installed. So on your Steam, so yeah, on your Steam, so like you can see now, we're on my Steam client. This is not server side. You're going to need to make sure you got this mod, so loot spawn blocks, subscribed to and downloaded. You're going to need to make sure you've got Dayz Editor subscribed to, downloaded, CF, dabs, and builder items. Also, while you're on the workshop page, make sure if you already haven't got it, you've subscribed to Dayz Editor Loader. That you won't need installed for the first part, but you will need to install it on your server, and we'll get to that in a moment. Right, okay, so once you've got all them mods subscribed to, we're good to go. If you go to your Steam library, and mine's already running, but click on Dayz and click play. Once you do that, it will load up with the launcher. Now, in this launcher, all them mods that I just mentioned that I said make sure you subscribe to and downloaded, you need to make sure they're loaded in there. So we'll just unload everything. So right, so if yours is empty like this, you've got nothing loaded and it's all available, what you want to do is just search for them mods. So if you just search for CF, and again, like I said, as long as you've subscribed to them on your Steam Workshop, they're all downloaded and up to date, they'll appear in this list. So we'll click on that. We also want dabs. One I can spell. The loot spawn mod, and it's that one. What else we got? Dayz Editor. No, not the loader. We don't want the loader. We just want, it might be just called editor. Yeah, Dayz Editor. So we want that one. And it's saying, look, we've got a dependency mod for this, builder items. So we're just going to load that mod as well. Right, now, if we just make that empty, we can see now we've got all them 5 mods that we have loaded, and we're ready to go. So we're at this bit, Dayz Editor. I will tell you in a bit as well, but I'll tell you now, just so you know, don't need Dayz Editor on your server side. You'll need Dayz Editor Loader instead. But I'll go through that in a minute. So at the moment, just make sure you got these 5 mods loaded. Right, once you've got this loaded, we're going to click play. This is going to load up into the actual Dayz Editor. Now, I'm not going to go over how to use the editor. There should be videos showing you how to do that if you need to know. But I will mention certain controls that you can press. I was going to say push. Certain controls that you can press as you're doing this. Right, I'm just going to let this load up and then I'll be back with you. Okay, so it's loaded into the Dayz Editor. Now, all you need to do, at the bottom right, click Open Editor. I don't think I mentioned it. If you are running a modded map, so something like Deer Isle, the Mosque, what we've got, Vaunin, Takistan, you name it, etc. What other maps there are that you might be running on your server, make sure in that launcher option that we was just on, where we saw me load all them 5 mods, make sure you load that mod too. So if you're running the DRL map, you install or you load the DRL mod. Right, I'm hoping that makes sense. We're just doing with Chernarus, so I'm just going to click Chernarus and I'm going to click select. And then this shouldn't take too long to load in. If you've got a really good internet and a really beastie PC, this might be a bit quicker, but for me it takes a little bit of time. Right, okay, now we're in. So, what we're going to do is, I have already done this tutorial once before, but it's kind of messed up, so I'm going to do it again. So, we're in. Now, we can move around with, like, the mouse at the minute. If we push the M button for map, and find a place that you want loot. So for you, you'd go around and find places that you want to put your loot position. So I'm going to do this. Where should we go? We're just going to go... tell you what, we're going to go altar. Last time I was down in Gorka, but we're going to do altar. So we'll find altar, and then we'll just push the middle mouse button, and it'll put a little target cursor there. So that means it's teleported our character there. We can just push escape, push spacebar, and then we can move the mouse again and we can turn around. And we are at altar in free cam. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just so you can see it's sort of working. If we now push the what? No, not Y key. Is it? Spacebar. So I push spacebar. See, I can't remember this half the time. And we're going to want to search for land underscore SPW. Right, and this is going to come up with all the blocks for that mod that we can place. So these are basically blocks that create loot positions. And we can use any one. Small ones, so the SML, are kind of for like shelf areas and like really small locations. I would probably suggest probably 90% of what you're going to do is just use the medium blocks. There are large blocks too. They're pretty large, so you're going to want to use them in big open areas. We're just going to keep with the medium. And what we're going to do is we are going to place, I think, a tools block. Now, it doesn't really matter which block because we can change what spawns in one of the XML files. But to simplify this, what we're going to do, we're going to use the tools box and we're going to place that there. And then we just move the camera so we can kind of see a little bit. Now, at the minute, that is under this walkway. So if I click on it and use the Alt button and drag my mouse up, it's going to move this up or down. So what you essentially want to do, that yellow ring you see, you essentially want that so you can't see it. So just like that. And then it'll spawn the loot on top of this walkway. Right, and then we'll do another. Let's do another. Medium should be fine. But I guess we could probably do small. We'll try a medium. So that was a tool. So we're going to do a weapon. So let's just find medium weapons. And then kind of somewhere there, I think. And hang on. Right, we kind of want this. Right, that should probably do. We don't want it spawning in the wall. So if we then lower it a little bit, just like that. Now, you may have to put a small block here instead, because you can see it sticks out. Now, the one thing that I don't know and I haven't tested, if this has got a collision. So this bit that is technically sticking out, I don't know if it's got a collision. We'll have to find that out. If it has, you've just used a small one. And that's going to be a weapon. Right, now we'll close out that box. We set that, and let's just do one more. So we've got a tool, weapon, and we'll do a close one. And like I said, it doesn't really matter what you choose here. It kind of makes it easier, but it doesn't really matter because you can set it in the XMLs. And what we'll do is, just for the fun of it, because I can use admin mode. A player I don't think is going to get up here. Let's put that in somewhere in the middle of the building, and let's raise it up so it's on the roof. And then again, make sure that yellow ring is not showing. So we're going to do 3 positions. So we've got a tools block, a weapon block, and clothes. So we'll categorize them in the file too. So only tools, only weapons, and only clothes can spawn at them positions. So the reason I put one up there is so you can see it kind of works anywhere. Anything, like I said, with the weapons, we're probably going to need a small block. Once we've done that, we now need to save that. So we're going to click save. We're going to scroll down. There's 2 little bars here. Scroll down this dark grey one, and then scroll down this white one. And then you should see a thing that says file. Somewhere in the middle here. Oh, we can click, and then we can give it a name. Now, we'll just call this altar. Right, and then this is going to be a DZE file, but we don't need to name it as DZE. We can just give it a name of altar, and we'll click save. Save 3 objects. Now, what we're going to also do, click file again, and we're going to export. And we're going to export it to a map group pos. And again, same thing. Scroll down on this white bar, scroll down on the dark grey bar, get to the bottom, it says file, and give this a name. So we'll call this altar pos. That'll do. And then export. Right. Now, once we've done that, we can file and we can exit out of there. We're good to go. Close out of this, and the next thing we're going to need to do is basically going to need to navigate to our documents folder, Dayz Editor. Yeah, so let me just quickly close out of this and navigate to them folders. Okay, so we've made it to our documents, then our Dayz folder, and then you want to find the editor folder. So open that up, and inside here we want to find them 2 files that we just saved and we just exported. So we'll start off with the saved one, which is the altar, and then .dze. And like I said, you don't need to put .dze when you save it in the editor. It will automatically create that. So for me, I copy and paste. That's how it's easier for me to work. Some of you people may not get that option, and you have to use an FTP. In which case, if you do, and I'm not going to show you how to do that. 1, I don't actually have an FTP installed, and 2, depending on what FTP you use, it can be a slightly different process. But basically, you need to get this altar when I get out of the way, .dze. You need to upload this into a folder, which I'll talk about in a second when I get to it, into a folder called editor files, which is in your server. So let me copy this, because I copy paste. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to just quickly tab to my my server, and we are going to go to my MP mission folder, and we actually want my test server, not this one. We want my MP mission server, the mission I'm using, so it's Chernarus, and the folder which I just mentioned, editor files. Now you get this folder when you install the Dayz Editor loader on your server. So you might be able to see it in this list, or you should be able to. Let me just find where I've got it. There. So it's the one that I've highlighted there in blue, at Dayz Editor loader. Make sure you have this installed on your server. Do not install Dayz Editor. Dayz Editor is only for the previous bit that I've just shown you, not to go on your server. So once you install Dayz Editor loader mod on your server, you start your server up, let it run. It will create this editor files folder inside your MP mission folder. Now, if it doesn't create that, 1, make sure your server has fully started and your server is running, that it actually works and you can join. 2, you can manually create it. So just create a new folder, whichever method that you create folders with, and call it editor files, capital E, capital F. I'm not sure if that matters, but if you name it with a capital E, capital F, no spaces, it'll work just fine. and then make sure it's in this location. So where your DB folder is, your EMV inside this location, and then once you create that, if you open it up, and then you can paste in that .dze file that we have just saved from the editor, just like that. Now, next thing we need to do is we need to mess around with some of the XML. So if we actually just like tab back to my desktop, so we're back into the Documents Dayz Editor folder path, and we want to find the other file, which was altar.pos that we created .xml. So I'm going to right click, and I'm just going to edit with Notepad++. You can just click edit and it'll probably open up your default notepad. Doesn't really matter which. I'm just going to edit it with Notepad++. That opens, drag this over there from my other window. And what we don't want to actually upload the old file. We don't need this complete XML. We just want these three land spawn tools that we place down. So these three in the middle that you can see that I've highlighted, we just need them three. So we don't need line 1, we don't need line 2, and we don't need line 6. And depending on how many blocks you place, these can be slightly different lines. So we're only taking line 3, line 4, line 5. So we'll take them and we're going to copy these. So again, if you're using an FTP, you're going to need to go onto your server, and you're going to need to, I guess, I don't know what it's called, download the map group pos XML from your server, download it, open it up in your notepad, and then you're going to need to open this file up too from, again, this location, your Documents Dayz Editor. So open this one up that we exported, and then when you download the file from your server, you will put this in to that file as well. So essentially, I'm just going to copy that, go back to my server, and then we're going to find the map group pos file. So this one, map group pos.xml. For me, I can just right click, edit this, but again, if you're using FTP, some control panels, whatever you're using, won't give you the option, and you have to download it. So in which case, you would download this file, and then you'd add in the bit that you export from the editor. Sorry, I couldn't speak. And it doesn't really matter where you put it. I'm just going to put it at the bottom just to make it easier to find. But I'm just going to put it at the bottom. Oh, there we go. Right, it doesn't have to be in a nice, neat line. I don't really worry about making it nice and tidy normally. I'm just doing it for the video. But we now got them three at the bottom there, just like so. So make sure you add the ones that you've placed in the editor, or that you've exported from the editor, into your map group pos file. Now what I'm going to do is, you'll see in a minute, land spawn small tools, medium weapons, and medium clothes. These are like blocks. These blocks are not included in the example kind of extras folder in the mod folder, and I'll show you in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy. I'm going to take the quotation marks, I'm going to copy them, and then on my desktop, just because it's easier, I will open up a new file, and I'm going to paste in that name, and I'm going to do it for all three. What I'll do, save me tabbing back and forth, I'll just copy it like that, and easier probably to just delete it like this, and just like that. So we've got three type of blocks. So you'll probably need to do this depending what blocks you use in the editor. You'll probably need to copy this bit too, so don't miss out this step. Right, we're going to copy them and we'll get them in a minute. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. We're going to go back to your server. And at this stage, you should have all the mods installed that you needed. It started up, so it recognizes, it knows all the mods there. All right, and we're just going to file, and we're going to save that with them new blocks there. Right, and we can close out of that. Next thing we need is we're going to go to where your mods are installed, And I'm going to find the loot spawn blocks mod. I'm going to double click on that, and I'm going to open up the extras folder. There is a README, a PDF. You can, if you've got a PDF thing like Adobe PDF, whatever, you can open that with that. And it actually shows you how to do this. So if you want to look at it, you can. If not, it doesn't matter. This video is going to cover it all anyway. Right. And then we're going to right click on the map group proto.xml, and we're going to edit this with Notepad Plus. Sorry, we're going to edit this with Notepad++ or any sort of Notepad software. Again, if you kind of got to download this via an FTP, make sure you download this into your sort of desktop, into a Notepad software that you can open and edit. Right, and then we're going to copy this. We don't really need to copy the green parts where it says loot spawn block start and end, but I'm just going to copy it just to make it simpler. So in my file, I know what these blocks are, what these three things are. I'm going to copy them, and you'll see by default we've got the small general block, the medium general, and the large general. Where in my one I got small tools, medium weapons, and medium clothes. They're not in here. So this is why I have copied them other blocks, so then I can add it into this file. But we're going to copy that, and we're going to go back to my server. So it's a lot of back and forth, right? And then we are going to go to your actual MP mission folder, your mission, and we're going to find the map group proto.xml. And for me, I can just right click and edit this, so it's going to open it up. For you, if you are using FTP, I keep saying it because I want to make sure you understand and you know exactly what you're doing. But make sure you download this, stay onto your desktop via FTP, open up in whatever Notepad software you use, and then add in the bit that I'm going to show you now in a second from the mod extras folder into this file. Right, so with that in mind, we're going to just get the top bit. You've got this default section like that. We're just going to go underneath that. So I'm going to put a space, and I'm just going to Control V because I copied it, and we're going to paste in them three type of blocks. So we've got the small general, the medium general, and the large general. Now I could edit each three of them because I don't use none of them. But what I'm going to do is for you, because you might use these, so to make it easier for you to understand, I'm going to keep these in here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all three. And we're not going to copy the start bit and the end bit, but we're just going to copy all three from this group name. We're going to go down all the way to this group tag just above spawn blocks end. We're going to copy that, so just press Control C once it's highlighted. And I'm going to push enter underneath that, and then Control V again to paste in them three copies. So now essentially I've got 6 blocks here. Each 6, so 2 of them are the same. So 2 are the same, another 2 are the same, and another 2 are the same. But we're just going to edit the end 3. So let me count down. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then it starts here with a small one. So now we're going to change this name, and this is where I copied them 3 names previously. So if I bring my other notepad over, you can see we copied them. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the one, highlight it and copy it, and I'm going to go to this one here, highlight the quotation marks, and I'm going to Control V. So I'm going to override that name. So now you can see it's changed to Land Spawn Tools. And I'm going to do that with all 3. So let me quickly do that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've edited all the names. So you can see we got the Land Spawn medium weapons. Land Spawn small tools, the medium weapons, and medium clothes. Now what we need to do is we're going to need to change, or you don't really need to, it depends what loot you want to spawn at them spawn blocks. Because I've set 3 different types to try and show you. So an example, we got clothes, we got tools, and we got weapons. So the clothes I only want clothes, tools I only want tools, and weapons I only want weapons. So we're going to edit that. Before we do, the way you can find out what category names and usage names and stuff that you can use is if you go to your MP mission folder, your actual mission, you have a CFG limits .xml where we look at limits definition. So we can edit this and it opens up in Notepad. And you can see we've got all the different type of category names, users names, the tiers. You don't need to worry about the tiers. This will take it from your types.xml file. And then we've got tag names. So we've got floor, shelves, and ground. Right. Now, in these, pay attention. I haven't got nothing set to shelves as a tag name. So if we just close out of that, open back up my map group pos file. Is this the correct one? Yep, it is. We've only got tag name of floor on all three. Tag name floor, and tag name floor. So these aren't technically on the ground, but they've got like the tag name of a floor. These should still work. If not, I may need to add a tag name of the shelves in. I think it depends what your loot is, your items are set in your types.xml file. If they've only got a tag name of shelves, you will probably need to set the tag name of shelves too. So if you find the certain if you find a certain loot not spawning, just check the tag names in your types.xml file, and if it has only got a tag name of shelves, but in this map group proto, for that type of category and that item, it's only got floor, you're going to need to change that. And that simply is going back to that limits definition file, copying it and adding it in here, just underneath or above the previous tag name. Right, so let's start with tools. So we only really want tools. So let's take user's name, collectibles out of there. Now, if you've got some items that is a collectible, that's got a username collectible, but it's also got a category name of tools, you can leave this in. But for this purpose, we're just going to take collectibles out. Have I done one too many? Oh no. So I thought I'd delete something that I shouldn't have done. Right, take collectibles out, and then we're just going to keep the tools in. So we'll take containers, clothes, food, weapons, and explosives. And we will, this isn't necessary, but we'll just delete the spaces so there's no spaces. And then we'll also just, I guess, bring these over. Just so it looks a little bit more neat and tidy. Do not change these point positions. Leave these how they are. Unless you really know what you're doing, don't just change them. Right, now we're going to pretty much do the same for the weapons. So we'll keep the username military. We can also add other users names. So certain weapons will spawn with like a police user's name. So you can add them in, but just for the purpose of the video, we will keep the military user's name and we'll take everything out that is not weapon related. We'll also keep explosives. Why not? Right? Why not keep explosives? Right. And again, we'll keep all this. Oh, too far. And just make it nice and tidy. And then we'll do the same with clothes. So again, I guess we'll keep military. We'll take collectibles out. And we will, I guess, let's just go back to limit definition. What else could we have for clothes? We could have police, medic clothes, firefighter. Yeah, we'll just keep that for now. There's some others there that we can take, but there's like police clothing, there's medical clothing, and there's firefighter clothing. So we'll put them in as well. Make sure we've copied it, which we have. And then we'll go back to our group proto. And we'll paste that in underneath. Oh. Right, pretty much just like so. Right. So we can have them different type of clothing that will spawn at this spawn block. Right, and again, loot container, that can be that, and we'll take off weapons, we'll take off everything that isn't clothes. Right, I'm hoping I've kind of made this easy for you guys and you can understand what's going along. I am trying to show you all different type of examples that you can do while trying to not make it confusing. Right, we'll just leave that like that. I'm not going to bother tidying that up. Once that's done, we can save it. So we'll file and then we'll save. Now at this point, I actually believe we're done. Of course, if you got more spawn blocks you've added, I've only added 3. You go and adjust all of them to your liking, and set what type of loot you want there. If you got a spawn block that you just want anything that can spawn there, of course, leave all the users' names, leave all the category names in, and you'll be good to go. Right, so we saved that. We'll just make sure, and then we'll close out of this. Now we're pretty much ready to go. I believe that is everything. We've done the map group proto, we've done the map group pos. Right, server side. So I've mentioned it. So do make sure server side you've got CF installed, dabs installed. Obviously you can install VPP Admin if you want to. It's going to give you the admin tools so you can fly around your map and do all your admin stuff. The loot spawn blocks mod, make sure it's installed, but make sure it's installed as a server mod, so it's server side, and then install Dayz Editor loader. And of course, all this should have already been installed before we get to this point. Right, now I'm going to, because this is a test server, I'm going to delete the storage folder just so my loot will spawn straight away. If you're in a position where it's on a main live server and you can't delete your storage folder, you're going to have to wait and basically let the loot economy do its thing and despawn loot and respawn new loot. But you may find it may still spawn straight away. So let's go ahead, delete the storage folder, and then we're going to start my server. Right, I'm going to let my server fully start up, and I'm going to log in, and then we're going to show you the loot being there. Okay, we're in on the server, so I'm going to actually teleport to Altar, I believe it was that, right? Which is there. Right, let everything load, and was it this? Yeah, there's this building, right? The weapon one might not be there. Okay, so we've got a flag. So that, I guess, is, was that the tools one? So I believe that was the tool. So flag, for me, will be counted as tools. Oh, we have got a weapon. We've got a magazine. So a magazine, again, counts as a weapon. Now, we should have something on the roof, which is clothes. So this one, I kind of, as you saw, it took me a bit to mess around with. Kind of probably need to bring it out a little bit. But yeah, it might not be good to have a weapon on there because some of the bigger weapons might, not quite be on there as intended. But yeah, of course, you mess around. So let's use free cam, go up on the roof. And I don't see anything. Right, I don't see nothing here, so I don't know what mistake I made. It could be the issue with the tag, but I don't think it is. It's just right, so that has it just actually gone to the ground? You know what? It might have. Oh no, 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 there is something up there. Let's turn off free cam. Not free cam, but ESP. So you can see something else here. There is some wool gloves. As I say, I didn't think I made a mistake. But yeah, you can see it all works pretty much where you want it to. Now, the one thing that I haven't tested and the way the guy spoke to me is loot should still respawn. So once I picked it up and picked up, you say, the other two, given the amount of time set in your types XML file and the lifetime and all the restock values, they should respawn with more loot. But yeah, if you are struggling and you quite haven't understood nothing, as always, come to Discord and come speak with me and I can help you along. A lot of people like leaving comments on YouTube, which is fine, and I do try to respond to all of them. But it's really not the best way to get out because a lot of people will ask me questions. I respond to them, but then they never get back to me. So I don't know if it's worked or if it's not worked. The best way to really come and get some support is come to my Discord. But yeah, and yeah, obviously this is the editor method. I will do another video soon-ish whenever I get some more time, and I'll show you, and once I've messed around with it, I'll show you using the VPP admin and using, I think you do it with the object builder, and I'll show you that method. But until that, guys, you know, this method will work just fine, and it's pretty simple. But yeah, have fun, guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.